Viola, oh my gosh, if you missed it 2 weeks ago, making top 16 with this Meta Knight, taking out Luis on winner's side too, and then taking out Justice. A phenomenal run, showing why so many players actually believe in this character.
Now, you got to keep in mind that this is going to be the battle of the escalera. The ladders are going to be the main point of this match. Both Meta Knight and Mario can do it just like that. Watch him go all the way up. A perfect way to escape with a Phantom Footstool.
Yeah, and trying to fire right back there. Missing on the second one, but you know what? You know Irod is going to take every chance he gets. You don't want to let him hit you once more. Otherwise, you are going to be going on a whirlwind of pain.
And it goes both ways, really. Like, you never know who's going to take the lead at this point, because even though it is Viola who currently has the ledge under control, you know that Mario is very good at sneaking by, and once you get grabbed, you know that you're in danger. The Flood trying to get a little bit of extra control by the ledge, but just as Viola very carefully sits at the middle of Pokemon Stadium, you know that things can go sideways in matters of seconds.
The crazy thing is, when you think of these characters and break them down, they have such a similar game plan in how they want to play. Mario is looking for every moment he could get that grab or that up air off of a wild jump. Meanwhile, Viola, sniping right back. That move is insane.
Dimensional Cape is just absolutely broken.
It's such a fear of you don't know if they're going to swing, and if they don't, they're out of there. They skip disadvantage altogether. If they do swing and you didn't shield, GG's, shake my hand.
Yeah, it's always a good mix-up tool, and you know the pressure that they can add, it's absolutely ridiculous. Just like this flurry of slashes as Viola tries to go for the edge guard, unfortunately not being able to get this stock quite yet, but look at this differential, not only in numbers, but also the stocks. It is currently Meta Knight who's holding a very sizable lead.
Yeah, Viola is just laying on the pressure and then also finding these really strong hits where there's a couple of times where Irod might find like 20%, but Viola is nailing him down with these back airs, and that jab did like 40% at ledge. That was so much for one jab.
It is lots of pressure, great recovery, very safe as well. Just as you mentioned, it can be used for a lot of things, a lot of mix-ups, and just like that, Viola is still surviving. Not that down air is finally going to take it, but it's a whole lead that is going to be really hard to get rid of. Right now, Irod could add a little bit of extra pressure, and maybe we see a ladder that takes the stock immediately back, but for that, we need to play exceptionally well for that to happen.
I will say Viola is getting a little too aggressive with some of these dash attacks. Irod needs to find a way to kind of capitalize a little bit more off of that, but look at this, just as I say it, a nice clean 59% now, and going right back into it.
Ooh. That was absolutely necessary. That stock needed to be gone. Look at this pressure, just pivoting back and forth, hoping for a mistake, knowing that if it doesn't come, Viola will keep that lead. Another opportunity for the edge guard. Those back airs looming very effectively, knowing that one single mistake will lead to a sudden death.
Getting so aggressive here. She's just playing so patient and focusing on that with punishing. And Irod is willing to send the swings, and Viola is just positioning herself in these bubbles where it feels like, all right, go ahead, swing at me, give it to me. Go ahead, throw it, and I'm going to put you in the dirt.
Right now, Irod does take the stock, taking it to last on each side. However, the number deficit cannot be denied. Right now, Viola only needs one interaction, of course, leading with that Flood to make some extra space, but one single hit could send Mario upwards. The sharking is imminent.
Beautiful tech out, and we're starting to see Irod playing a lot more patient and a lot more willing to just let Viola exist. Dude, I was with you. That should be killing at that percent. Look, 60, 70, no, not on PS2, please.
That's the thing, like, it can be very explosive, gets the read on the roll, still surviving. The backer, the last hit of the backer is the one that allows Viola to keep on winning. Game number 1 goes to her, and listen, Yin, that was way too close for comfort.
Oh my gosh, they were in it to win it. They just kept pushing the pressure out there, and this is going to be one of those just beautiful sets to watch where they go back and forth and don't stop putting it out there. Man.
We're going back into Pokemon Stadium 2. We saw how Irod almost brought it back. from the ashes.
Those combos were getting a lot more clean by the end of the game.
For sure. Also taking advantage of the rage that he was all pent up aggression that wanted to come out in a burst. Unfortunately for Irod, that was not the case. Some of you guys in chat were calling it. This is a bit of a team kill, by the way. We are actively reading you guys on chat, so please make sure to send your shout outs. Make sure to cheer for your favorite contender, because right now it is Viola who's currently on the blender.
Oh, 100%. Good gracious, 82%, 91. Barely answered with just 7%. This is starting to become a detriment. And look at that beautiful call out on that swing right there. Irod just coming down with that back air, that little boot to the head, and take this headbutt right away.
Right from behind. You know that's going to be the favorite spot for Mario to be in. And although those upper strings were really efficient, they're still only assessed 30% on Irod, which is a little unfortunate because you really want to bring that differential back as soon as possible. We know that Meta Knight is very well capable of, and Viola has shown us that she is great at executing these highly precise combos and strings that Meta Knight can afford.
And now we're just starting to see Viola play it, just slow it down a lot more.
Yeah.
Where it's just, all right, I'm going to walk a little bit back, and if you come in and swing, I got this F-tilt ready, this triple slash cooking, and you're going to have to hold that. Starting to look for the kill and starting to put a little bit of pedal to the metal right now.
Right. Also, no fear from Viola, just being, as you mentioned, very careful, but still ready to allow herself to just throw some hits. Those backers, we know that they're pretty safe to just spam and make sure that if one of those connect, the stock could definitely disappear. But right now, Irod with a sizable lead and putting extra pressure as Viola tries to get off that ledge.
She is really just taking all that water right now. I mean, good gracious. Irod just giving her a bath. Fireball coming out, hold up, put in the pressure back in. The use of that fireball to kind of help secure the space, where we've seen Viola be willing to back up and start throwing out that slash, and Irod like, all right, you have to acknowledge me this time.
Definitely, and that's something that Viola certainly has paid attention to. Like, she's being a little bit more patient. She's not going full send into her combos. She's actually dropping some of them, which is a precatory measure to just be like, okay, you know what? I need to be ready, because one mistake could lead to now a Mario ladder, and you really don't want to extend that lead.
Speaking of ladders, Viola's starting to search for one. Down tilt getting the trip, but a little too much rage. Oh my gosh, just looking for the extra damage. It's a little wild to see. Normally when you see rage, you're like, okay, now this is becoming a problem. You have to get the kill fast, and good gracious, Viola doing that right there. But for Viola, the rage has kind of stopped her from getting some of these combos that we've seen a lot from her. Just as I say it, though, racking up that damage right now.
Yeah, she was ready not only for the punish to get the lead, of course, a downer once again, keeping that differential to the minimum, at least only 30%, almost 40. This is something very manageable for both of them. The only issue here is that Viola is currently on the lead. Remember, this is a best of 3, so she only needs one more stock in order to keep advancing on pools.
Yeah, and Irod needs to get this now if he wants to start getting this set. And all of a sudden, that is looking a lot harder to do. Viola going in deep and throwing the stock too. Man, getting a little too antsy for the kill. You see her and bouncing in her seat.
Yep, flustered for sure.
Feel the energy, spew it. You could feel how much she wants this.
And you gotta feel bad, right? When you're executing that kind of edge guard, and of course causing that to be your own demise, it can be a little demoralizing, but this is the perfect moment for her to just snap back into it. You cannot let these emotions control, especially when you're control your mindset, especially when you're one game away from determining whether you keep on moving or you get down to the lower bracket.
And I think that was the big thing for her for most of that game 1, game 2, and why she has been doing so well, is this really good mindset of holding the patience, and now we are going straight off the top.
Beautiful, beautiful ladder from Viola. There was nothing that Irod could have done there, and if he did, it wouldn't matter anyway, because Viola was in it. Of course, those shakes that we saw earlier, those signs of frustration, apparently they worked. She's back into it, and she got a quick
just a little bit of anger here.
Yes.
How about you take that back?
Exactly. You got to release them, right? You cannot internalize those emotions, otherwise they can be pretty bad for you.
All right, and now Irod taking a little bit of a trip here. I think the big issue that has come of this PS2 pick is how far away the platforms are compared to the rest of the stage. And Irod just hasn't gotten the amount of extensions that he needs to really put in the work here.
Right. I would definitely love to see a different stage selected here, especially considering how Viola slowing down a little bit, or at least just enough to keep things a little bit more even. Whereas, exactly as you mentioned, Irod is struggling a little bit to find those strings because of precisely that, the distance between those platforms. And yes, you can get those in small battlefield too.
Yeah, I will say, all of a sudden, this game, maybe not even.
Wow.
Not dead. Oh my gosh.
Going all the way down to get that nair. Unfortunately, that is not going to connect. So that means that Irod is still going to try to haunt Viola with this small amount of rage that he's slowly building.
And now all of a sudden, that rage coming into effect. That down air, 75%. Gosh, they are just trading combos back and forth. Anything you can do, I can do better, dog.
There's a lot of aggression being traded back and forth. Those percentages haven't separated too much. Right now, it is currently Viola who holds the lead and holds that stage control, once again sending Irod all the way out, trying to chase him down, but that is not going to be the case, because once you recover, you know those back airs will be flying out in order to get the stop.
Irod just getting a little too aggressive there once again with the F smash 2 right after that get up attack. Is this going to be it?
Oh, no way.
And you are out of here.
Absolutely.